Washington, D.C. It's a spectacular place and a suitable setting for the meeting of hundreds of people who are doing some spectacular work of their own. We're talking about some of the best teachers from around the world, here to discuss ideas to collaborate on the best ways of using technology in education, the best way to reach out to the 21st century child. This is Microsoft Partners in Learning Global Forum, a platform for teachers from around the world to meet and rededicate themselves to the vocation of teaching. Partners in Learning is a 10-year and almost $500 million commitment from Microsoft to help improve education in many countries. 200,000 entries were received from teachers as they described the ways in which they were using technology to teach their students. 115 projects and teachers from 70 countries were finally chosen to be here in Washington. The teachers are excited to be part of the program.
Networking. It's all about networking. I mean, today I've been in a room with hundreds and hundreds of teachers, and they're all thinking the same way, and we're all sharing resources. We're here because we want to be here. What we get out of it is it's going to be fantastic for the pupils. I can't wait to take all of this, take it back. My pupils are going to love it.
Sharing ideas, sharing experiences. Now I want to know the challenges in these countries. I have a lot of challenges in my village because I live in a village. So I come here to know what other challenges, what other potentials of students. I want to collaborate with other teachers.
Wow, it's so exciting to meet all the teachers from the world and to actually collaborate with them. It's so exciting.
I think this is a great experience.
It's like a festival of education going on here in Washington. Pramila, we have 5 teachers from India this time. What kind of projects have they?
So each teacher knows that because they are the national nominees for India, so this is a winning platform for them anyway. More than competition, they are looking at a platform where they can share their best practices with each other. They can collaborate with them. Most of them are from government schools, which is like a real matter of pride for us. The very myths that the government teachers are not innovative enough, that beats it. That really beats it.
Some of the teachers from India had never been outside the country before, and the visit here to the Global Forum was a chance for them to get a look at beautiful Washington. Teachers from around the world have come here to Washington for this annual event. Clearly they're very good at their job and they do love it. But the challenge in the years to come will be a shortfall of teachers. The need really is to attract good people into the profession and to keep them there.
Yeah, certainly in the United States, it's not immune to the global teacher gap that we're going to see. And certainly by 2015, the UN predicts that we certainly have a shortage of 8 million teachers around the world. So we've got to inspire a new generation of teachers. The teachers here are a good example of that. So what we've got to do is both retain great teachers by making the profession not only celebrated in society and communities, but making it easier by providing new technologies, new support, new tools. It really starts with thanking your teachers that inspired you in your life. The early days of Partners Learning, the technology was very front and center of the project. And what we're seeing now is technology becomes much more elevated in the experience, but less visible in the experience, less obvious, certainly. And I think that's a sign that we're making progress.
The teachers who have gathered here in Washington from around the world were chosen to come here on the basis of their ideas. The ideas they had for using technology in education to reach out to students inside the classroom but also outside of it. And since this event is largely about collaboration, what they're doing now is putting up those ideas, sharing those ideas with each other and the world. Let's see what ideas the 5 Indian teachers have brought to Washington to share with their international colleagues.
My project is about developing the 21st century learning skills in the student. The project title is Let's Make World a Better Place. It's a competition wherein students have to come up with an innovative product, and it's a marketing competition wherein they have to create an entire marketing plan to launch that particular innovative product. The first product, as you can see, is the product Chalkster. Now this product has come into existence because the students have seen the teachers use the blackboard and the duster, and of course because of these dust particles, the teachers continuously coughing. Yeah, so what they have come up with is, they have come up with Chalkster, a product wherein all the chalk particles are absorbed in the duster itself, and these particles once again recycles, these particles are recycled into chalk one more time. But technology is being used at every stage, right from making of teams. As you can see that the students collaborate online.
A television that helps to find its own remote?
Yeah, that's right. Now, television, this is once again, I think every household faces this problem. That, the television
Where's the remote?
Is lost. And, you'll end up blaming either the kids or your spouse about that lost, so this particular, product has come up with, on the television, you just put a sensor and, give that connection to that particular remote. You push that button and that remote will simply buzz from wherever it is.
Majority of schools are in village, as it is an agriculture land, you all know. So large number of schools have a scarcity of the math teacher. It is a global problem. This digital presentation, students start learning mathematics very easily, because previously what we used to do, we teach mathematics with chalk and duster, traditional method, and student always feel bored, because teacher is doing its own, he's rubbing and writing on the blackboard, and student behind sitting like this. And when with the help of this technology, we created animated presentation, and those presentation are full of sound effects, and it cover all 5 senses. This is the outcome of intelligent student before you see. He is doing the things with chalk with the help of teacher who teaching with chalk and duster. When we join with the UC, this is the outcome. We give all these things in a digital form. He put it like here, and here comes the outcome of UC.
My project is about conservation of an environment, and it was aimed at allowing students to understand the urgency to conserve the environment. And with the help of this project, we tried to create awareness and sensitize students towards the environmental issues. They made slogans, posters. Not only that, they even collaborated globally to spread this message of environment conservation throughout the world. And we also collaborated with students of Canada, and they also sent us a video in which, they put up a world map and they showed us that we are here and you are there. And every child came, and whatever poster they had made, they would come and speak about it and just go. And they would just laugh, and they were feeling a little shy about collaborating with another country. And even my children, they also enjoyed it thoroughly. Initially, the students felt whatever small they did would not count. I made them realize that every little bit you do does make a count, I told them, if you save every child saves 1 glass of water, if you put it in a bucket, 30 students, 1 bucket will be full. And if all the sections do that, one big drum, and the whole school a big tank, and a whole nation, means it does make a difference, So whatever bit you can do, try to do to conserve the environment.
Normally in our district, the students were very good they get very good marks in mathematics in classroom, but they cannot excel in competitive examination. I just analyzed what is the reason behind this. I found that the questions which are asked in the examinations are around remembering, understanding and applying. They test only the lower order skills. But the question asked in the competitive examinations are in the form analyzing, evaluating and creating. They check only the higher order thing. One of the 21st century skill is we have to give visual input, large amount of visual input to the children. So I used some of the visual things to teach my topic. I created this movie. Children also created such movie.
I am very much against about one thing, that is having a textbook and having the first paragraph for the first question, second paragraph for the second question. Oh, it's very... See, my days are gone. I don't want my children, that is my students, to have the same thing. And also I have to integrate subjects like English, social science and computer science. Actually, my children had a fear of learning English because it's a foreign language for them. And me too, when I was kid. And teaching in chalk and talk method, it didn't work out. So I searched for methods like playing and giving games and fun. Suddenly I noticed that they love music because they sing film music and they love those music. Then why don't we try in music? So we finally made grammar to rock. So I took adjective. This is one part which I had, and I taught them that. Shall I sing the song?
Absolutely, please.
Okay. Adjectives, la la la, tells more, la la la, it tells more about the noun. Adjectives, la la la, tells more, la la la, it tells more about the noun. Fast, fast, slow, slow, deep, deep and playful. Fast, fast, slow, slow, deep, deep and playful. Adjectives, la la la, tells more, la la la, it tells more about the noun. Adjectives, la la la, tells more, la la la, it tells more about the noun. You have known. Congratulations.
Christopher Columbus. Of course, he did not technically really discover America, but he was certainly on a journey of discovery and exploration. And the hundreds of teachers and educators who have gathered here in Washington are also on the same mission, to discover better ways of teaching, better ways of reaching the mind of a child.
Yes, my students were great. They were 15 and 16 years old.
Partners in Learning is indeed about partnership, not just between teachers, but also with organizations like the wonderful Smithsonian Institution and the British Council. Microsoft is also working with the US government now to run a website for teachers, which accounts for the presence of the Secretary of Education of the United States.
We all have to work together. I think the more we collaborate, the more we are working together to share best practices and share our struggles. There are tremendous benefits there. And education today is borderless. It does not stop at any countries or anywhere around the globe. And we're all in this together.
The impressive Jefferson Memorial. Now, President Jefferson was a strong supporter of education. He would no doubt have been surprised by what 21st century teachers are up to, but he probably would have approved.
My project is about mobilizing a whole community and a school to make them more aware of the problems surrounding e-waste and the disposal of it.
What do you do with all the e-waste?
The e-waste in our school goes into a central collection bin, and we have a recycler that we're collaborating with. They actually come and empty the bin. It goes to a recycling plant where it's processed and crushed, and then the metals are actually extracted out of that. So it's a whole recycling process. They've collected, since March, we've collected 6 tons of e-waste, which to me is a phenomenal.
I see you've got this really, really cute hedgehog. What is he made of?
He is made out of electronic waste, all sorts of pieces of electronic waste. You can see some of the keyboard equipment here, and a lot of wires that come out of...
Fantastic.
Yeah, wonderful.
And do you also encourage the kids to get creative like this with some of the stuff that you're not recycling? Or?
We haven't had such a big focus on it, but I think we should.
One teacher from France has decided that Twitter is a good tool to learn to read.
Yes, of course they have fun, and the teacher have fun too. Because before the reading is fun for good pupils, but pupils in difficulty, it's difficult. With Twitter, they want to learn, and with Twitter you can write some short text, short message, so it's easy for them and it motivates them. Before I learned to read by reading, but now I learn to read by writing.
I started a travel agency in my classroom because we have a geography method, and there was a new chapter, and it said that we had to go to learn about big cities in Europe. And my wish was to do it different this time. People could ask us for a travel advice by Twitter or by our weblog. And for example, they said, I want to travel to Paris with my wife, and I want to stay for 4 nights, and I want to travel by plane, and could you give us an advice? And then the children went on the internet, and they went to sites like Expedia.com or Booking.com to find the information to make a travel advice for these people.
Carlos here has been a familiar figure at the forum with his clapboard. Okay, so what is this project all about?
Este proyecto es Quiero hacer cine. Consiste en una nueva metodología. ¿verdad?
I want to make movies. It's a project that takes children and youth out of the routine where the teacher is on the blackboard and the students are sitting there.
What have they learned from this project?
They learn to write.
De pensamiento, desarrollo de pensamiento. Tenemos una actividad que se llama pensamiento positivo, que de todo lo malo que exista o pase siempre hay que ver algo bueno y positivo.
We have an activity that is called positive thinking, where all the bad things that don't work so well, kids are challenged to think in a positive way.
Most of my students are smokers.
They are, okay.
Yeah, they are. They are too young, but they smoke.
They smoke, okay.
So we try to guide them and encourage them to know the damage of smoking. The others, they are not smokers. Their parents are smokers.
So you're teaching them about passive smoking and
through mathematics.
Through mathematics?
Yeah.
How?
We, as you know, teenagers doesn't care about their health. So I entered in the object about money.
Okay.
They don't they care about the money, how much it costs. So we enter to mathematics through the cost of smoking. If you smoke, you must pay a huge money.
So host country United States, a project called Illuminated Mathematics. Let's find out what that's about. So what does that mean?
Math has tons of philosophies and principles that directly connect with aesthetic theory, which is a direct connection, but also we just used art as the lens to look at math. So multimedia art projects designed artistically to communicate to a broader audience the meaning behind math and how it connects with the world. Definitely, as much as they're afraid to do math, they're often afraid to do art because we don't support the arts as much as we can. So right away, we built their confidence as being creative designers, but also public speakers and presenters and visual communicators, which will be with them for a lifetime.
The technology we use, we use digital cameras, we used sound equipment, we use all sorts of computers in the classroom and whatnot. But I think the really innovative part was the way we thought about it and just having the students explore mathematics.
So what did you learn from all this?
I learned that basically giving students the opportunity to pursue their passions and interests, like anything is possible.
Project Unite was an anti-bullying campaign that we started at my high school. There were upwards of 50 fights going on within just the first 2 months, yes, with my class, my freshman class. And as the freshman president, I was being bombarded with some really negative comments, and I had to combat that in some way. And Project Unite was the solution that I came up with. We had the kids go out, they took pictures with the I love you sign that is basically our trademark, and we used a program called Photo Story, and you can make a montage of these photos with some really cool music behind it. We presented the second one, same principle, different song, in front of the entire school where I gave a speech tying the civil rights movement and the ideologies of Martin Luther King Jr. in with our project. And
Human values and respect for each other.
Exactly. And the kids were really getting into it because it was a lot of fun songs. Without the social media technologies, the YouTubes, the Facebook, we could not get our message out there.
If there's an issue out there that you're passionate about, you can make a difference. And that's, I think, is the biggest lesson that I learned.
The teachers have had lots of discussions and meetings inside, but this is Washington, home of the wonderful Smithsonian. Now, the Smithsonian is actually part of the Partners in Learning movement, and they offer their premises for the teachers to actually go there for further projects and discussions. Well, much of the Global Forum is about collaboration. We're here at the Smithsonian, and several of the teachers from different countries have actually visited the place, and they'll be working together on a project, an online project, once they get back to their home countries.
They all look pretty similar, but they are different.
and they're found in every part of the world that you come from. Most of these, though not all, there are a few sticky.
In this case, we are planning the activity now here in this event. Then we go to our countries and we will plan it together.
More tango, I like that sound.
The team which is full of buddies.
Back at the teachers' exhibit, it's time to choose the best among the best. A panel of 50 international judges divide up to talk to teachers who earnestly explain their concepts, the trials they faced, and the successes they have achieved by mixing in 21st century technology into the ancient profession of teaching. Washington has many memorials that pay tribute to the achievements of several great people. We're in the city, though, for an event that pays tribute to those who have shaped all our lives, teachers. The gala dinner, the final celebration of an event that has been all about celebrating good teachers. The judges have done their difficult task, and finalists have been chosen in categories like collaboration and extending learning beyond the classroom. When the prizes are announced, there is good news for India. The project on creating green warriors has won a prize in the category Innovation in Challenging Contexts.
I think the difference that it is related to the most important global issue, environment conservation, which is very important for us today.
Teachers who made it here to Washington for a few intense days. They may have taken time away from their schools, but certainly not from their thoughts on education, on how to make teaching better for their students. They'll head back to their individual countries with renewed enthusiasm. Certainly good news for their thousands of students. With Alphonse Raj, Maya Sharma in Washington, D.C. for NDTV.